Hey, what's going on guys? It's Tom Mason here, and today, as it's the 1st of December, I thought to myself, I'm going to pull together a gift guide for you ahead of Christmas because I know it's a massive pain in the neck to think of gifts to buy people. As wildlife photographers and those who know wildlife and outdoor photographers, thinking of gifts for us guys is pretty difficult, mainly because we have a lot of stuff and a lot of the things we want are really expensive. So I've drawn together a collection of items that I think are really good gifts and that will be great for you as a photographer or the photographer in your life. To start off with, one of the things I'm going to pick is a magazine subscription. I know it's kind of a bit 90s, but actually a magazine subscription is fantastic. You know, here I've got National Geographic, Practical Photography or Outdoor Photography, all great titles. And the reason a magazine subscription is so good, because it's a year-long gift. It's not a gift that you're just going to get for Christmas and then kind of forget about, but every month you're going to get a nice new magazine in your inbox. And the thing is, as a photographer, we're always looking for new inspiration. And National Geographic, Practical Photography, Outdoor Photography are just full of the most beautiful pictures. You can't underestimate the benefit of having a good magazine subscription. So I'd certainly recommend that. Again, everything, I'll put links in the description so you can find it all really easy. You know, make Christmas simple. Don't muck around. Next up, I'm going to go with a notebook. It seems a bit of a weird gift. You know, we're not writers, anything like that, we're photographers, but a notebook is fantastic because it allows you to develop your ideas, to write down locations, things like that. And to be honest, it's one of my most used bit of kit. When I'm drawing together programs of work, when I'm thinking about ideas, images, projects, anything I'm working on, my notebook is my go-to. I always have it with me, and I never leave home without one. So something really nice. I love a moleskin. I've always enjoyed writing in moleskins. I just really like the paper texture, everything like that. And they're just really classic and classy. Really good gift. Again, you know, around the £10–11 mark. Superb. Any photographer really finds these useful because you write down your ideas, develop your photography, and again, it's something that you'll keep with you for the whole year. Next up, let's go for something that is practical. I love practical gifts, and that's a head torch. Having a head torch is just so useful, and a good one is even better. One of those ones that's really weak and it doesn't give you enough distance and you can't see what you're supposed to be looking at is really freaking annoying. So a good head torch is definitely on my list of things to suggest to people. I've got the Tikka XRP from Petzl. If you're going to get a head torch, get a Petzl one. They're the absolute best. This is a rechargeable one, so it has a lithium-ion battery, and I can just plug it into my USB and recharge it. It means that I'm not wasting batteries. You know, it's better for the planet, everything like that. And it's actually a really, really good light. You know, stick it on my head, and it is just brilliant. This is a really bright one, and it's also got reactive technology. So when I have it on, what it does is it works out how far an object is away, and it gives me enough light to see it without using full power, so it lasts a lot longer, and it's really great. It also has a red mode that is really useful because if you're doing night work, anything like that, you don't want to lose your night vision. Having the red mode is fantastic. It's also great for wildlife because it's far less of an impact when you're working with nighttime species, so I always have my red mode on. Again, fantastic addition to the bag. And tell you what, I have this with me pretty much every day. In my day bag, in my photography bag, I always have a head torch because you never know when you're going to need it. And you know, it's small, it's tiny, packs up little, really handy. I'll drop a link in the description to a couple of different ones. You know, this is a reasonably expensive one at about 70 quid, but there's options all the way down to like £20. So again, another great thing to think about for the photographer in your life. Moving on, another practical gift, a bit more photography focused, and that is a super clamp. Super clamps are pretty much magic. They're so useful for so many things. Like when I'm rigging a camera, be it a remote camera, maybe I'm in a hide and I don't have space for a tripod, a super clamp is so useful. Basically, it's just a big clamp. And these are really heavy duty by Manfrotto. Basically, you just stick it on whenever you need, you clamp it down, and then you've got a stud on the top that accepts a 1/4 thread, or you can switch it out and switch it over like so, if I undo it properly, and you have a 3/8 thread that's perfect if you want to mount the tripod head to it. And these are so useful for different things, you know, as I said, you know, mounting in a hide, something like that, or if you're mounting off a tree, you want to put a flash somewhere, Or, you know, if you're on safari and you've got rail bars, anything like that, you stick this on, mount your tripod head on top, and you've got a perfect support. Supports up to 15 kilo, so even a lens up to like a 604 with a Wimbley full setup is going to be absolutely fine. And the thing is, they're not even that big to go in your kit bag, so they are a perfect little addition. And at £20 you can pick them up. Again, a really great gift for the photographer in your life. One for the over 18s is a Leatherman. Now, I cannot stress enough how often I use my Leatherman. It is with me at every conceivable moment when it is legal for me to have it, because it is so useful. You know, I've got my pliers, I've got my knife, I've got screwdrivers, everything like that. And if you mount cameras and take them on and off tripods, put them on plates and stuff like that, you will love this. And you will find so many ways to use it. Like when I'm putting a hide in and I need to cut some foliage or move things around, when I'm mounting a camera trap and things get caught, I can't get a cable tie on, anything like that, I just find a use for my Leatherman. When I'm fixing cameras out in the field, I've repaired my DSLRs with my Leatherman. When I was younger, I even repaired my braces that I had with my Leatherman. It is that useful. And I can't stress enough how this is just my partner and I have it with me all the time. This is the Leatherman Wave. It's one of their higher end versions, so it's around £100. However, they do some lower tier models, ones like the Sidekick and things like that, and they still offer all of the like key features that you get on the Leatherman, but you know, they just miss a couple of the different ones. But still, it's just a fantastic tool you'll have in your bag and use it all the time, so it's definitely a gift worth giving. Something a little practical again is a flask. You know, photographers, we always talk about the kind of photo gear and everything like that people want, the big cameras, the lenses, everything like that. But you know, when I'm out on location, I'm sat there for like 4 or 5 hours at a time, I want a cup of coffee and I want it to be warm. And a good flask is the sort of thing that, you know, you don't understand the benefit of it until you've got one. And then the moment you've got one, you use it all the time. It keeps my coffee really nice and hot. So when I'm out there and I'm freezing cold, it's just that nice pick-me-up that means you're going to stay on location a bit longer. And you know, for giving a gift to those people, you're giving the gift of warmth, comfort, and a nice coffee wherever they are. This is a Life Venture one. I've always found Life Venture to be really great in terms of flask. This probably keeps my coffee warm for a good like 6 or so hours, 7 hours. It's small, it just goes in my bag, really simple, and again, great gift. It's around, you know, £12, something like that, so you can't get better than that. Really good gift to think about for the photographer in your life. Now, moving back to the kind of more photo-inspired gift, you know, something like a mini tripod is handy. This is the Pixie Mini Evo by Manfrotto. It's really cool because it's got the extendable legs, so it gives you a bit more kind of scope for mounting your camera. And it's a really great little tripod. I actually use this all the time when I want to mount a remote camera, when I'm doing my videos and stuff like that. I've been using this a lot. And it's just really good because even though it doesn't have a massive payload and a massive height, anything like that, you'd be surprised at the amount of times that you can get a camera somewhere difficult, tricky, mount it, get a really sturdy support. You know, it's just really handy. And at about £25–30, the ones without the extendable legs, and about £40 for the ones with the extendable legs, they're just a really great gift. And I'm sure that every photographer that you know, anything like that, will find this really handy. So again, definitely worth it. So the next gift is for your macro enthusiast, and that is the Wimbley clamp. Now, the clamp is a fantastic accessory for those who do a lot of outdoor macro, if you do a lot of plant photography. Basically, they're about £30, and you've got this really nice clamp that's really good jaws on the end, and then a smaller kind of nice little clamp here. And basically, what it's for is for positioning flowers and stuff. So you might clamp it to your tripod, something like that, and then what you can do is put this on the stem of a flower, stuff like that. Hold it in position so you've got a bit more wind, anything like that. You're going to hold your subject a little bit more still, and just makes macro photography a bit more easy. It's also really good because you can mount something like a flag card. So if you want to put, you know, an extra board, something like that in the way, and you just want to get some reflected light, again, it's really handy for moving things like that. So if you do a lot of product photography, if you do a lot of macro work, the clamp is a really great accessory, and again, it's a really good different gift that for photographers will definitely find a use. I really like my clamp, and that's always in the bag. Now, the last two are probably a little bit more expensive, but I put them in because I think they're great things to think about purchasing or getting as a nice gift. And the first one is a hard drive. I know it sounds boring, right? But literally what a hard drive is you're saying, I value your pictures and you should protect them. You know, I value your pictures enough that you should not only protect them, but you should have another copy of them. And I love my G-Tech hard drives. I use a lot of G-Tech drives. I find them really good, really solid. I like the design, everything like that. But the ATC is fantastic because basically it's a waterproof, rugged drive. Yeah, they're £100. They're a bit more expensive, but you know what? They're a bloody good investment. So the final item on the list is the most expensive, but it's also really good price for what it is, and that is the Nifty 50. Here is my Nikon 50mm 1.8G. Not the 1.4 because the 1.8 is just the best value for money in the world. You know, updated now to the G series. Canon do a very similar lens, Sony do as well. 1.8 is a really nice wide aperture for really nice blurry backgrounds, for those really nice shallow depth of field images, or for just working in low light. It's small, it's lightweight, and they're ridiculously sharp. And they're a great lens for developing your photography. So, you know, if you're thinking, you know, you've got a bit more budget and you want to spend on the photographer in your life, the Nifty 50 is definitely one considering. You get cool little hood, everything like that, comes in a nice little bag, great present, and I'm sure the photographer that you know will be well happy with one of these. Right, so that's it for my Christmas gift guide. You know, just 10 items there that I think will be great for you as a photographer or the wildlife photographer, outdoor photographer in your life. They're all really handy stuff that I use all the time, and that's the only things I wanted to suggest. I don't want to suggest drones or flipping cameras or really expensive stuff because it's Christmas. It's not about the money, it's about giving people gifts that really show that you care about what they do and that you want to invest in helping them. And all the things I've suggested will definitely do that. They don't cost the earth and they're just really, really handy. So hope you found that useful. All of the links will be in the description to all of the items so you can easily find them, so you don't have to worry about kind of looking back and then trying to find them online. I'll put it all below. And if you found that helpful, you know, drop a like, subscribe to my channel. I'll be back soon with more content. And if you've got any questions, anything like that, if you're like, Tom, I have no idea what I'm going to buy for my girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, you know, son, whatever, drop it in the comments. I'll try and give you some suggestions because I know the run up to Christmas is a bit hectic. When you're looking for that perfect gift, it can be a bit of a struggle. So I will join you soon. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I'll be back in a bit.